Good evening, CoachingU4U family. Thanks for joining us tonight, family and friends. I appreciate you sharing your time with us this evening. You can see us on Facebook. You can see us on YouTube. On YouTube, please hit the like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. Anywhere you find podcasts, you can find Coaching You for You. Again, thank you for joining us this evening. I appreciate you being here with us tonight. Our topic tonight is about green flags. So often we've shared about red flags. We talk about red flags all the time. It's even become a trend across social media about red flags. Let's talk about green flags a little bit. Green flags are important. I want you to remember I'm sharing my experience and exposure. What doesn't apply, please let it fly. I don't know everything, but what I know for sure. And what I don't know, I'm willing to learn. And when I talk about learning, and this is important, I want to learn from people who have experience in areas that I don't. One of the worst mistakes I ever made after becoming a widow was accepting the advice of somebody who had not had the experience to give me that advice. But I trusted them. And the advice they gave ended up in absolute disaster. And so now, having learned from that, because see, I learn my lessons. I get my lessons and I get my blessings. In that, I learned my lesson. And what I learned was this: when I'm looking for advice, I want to hear from people who have had successful relationships with family, friends, and foe. I want to learn from people who have been successful in marriages, who have some experience and time in marriages. And I look for that because it's what I've had. And I know from my experience and exposure in that folks who have good experience and exposure and time in that area can help me. Still, I'm open to learning. And so let's talk about green flags. In a healthy relationship with a man, one of the things, this is a list of things that I look for. And as long as most of this list is in the mix, I'm going to be good. Nothing's 100% and nothing's perfect. Here's what I know. One of the things that's most important about me when engaging in a new relationship, something I haven't done for a very long time, for a number of reasons. Number one, I wasn't ready. And number two is after becoming a widow, I had some healing to do. And even after that, having gotten involved in with a very bad choice based on receiving some advice from somebody who had absolutely no experience in the area, I failed and I learned a lesson. And so in that, one of the things I look for in someone I might be interested in is that they respect their self. And respecting themselves is not what they say, it's what they do. I look for a man who respects his mother and values his mother. I don't care what the past relationship was with mom, good, bad, or indifferent. The fact that she brought him here speaks volumes. And even if there's disagreement in that relationship, he has to value and respect her. This is my list. Again, what doesn't apply, let it fly. He has to be open for discussion. Well, and sometimes there will be disagreement, but that he knows how to disagree without being disagreeable. He knows how to forgive without holding a grudge. And I don't care who it's with, not just with me, with anybody. If he's somebody who holds a grudge, he's going to hold a grudge. You know, what you see really is what you get. And in the one failed relationship that I had after becoming a widow, what I learned was what I saw was what I got. And so some would say I got what my hand called for, and perhaps I did. But there was a lesson and blessing in it all because I learned so much in that. And it was a disaster. The other thing is that I want him to be in a position where he's practicing healing himself from any and everything that may have hurt him in the past or gave him pause for reflection. Any of that. I want to be sure he's working and in the process of healing himself from that. When we are unhealed and we're bleeding pain, we bleed onto other people. I know that because I experienced it in the relationship that I spoke about after becoming a widow. He bled all over me. And I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but he was in so much pain and perhaps unaware of it. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, I'm a social worker by trade uh, in my early life of employment. What I know for sure is he has to be practicing some self care, and that self care includes healing. And it's an ongoing process, just as it is for me. His character has to be solid in that he walks just like he talks. There's no confusion in it for me. He has to be trustworthy. He has to be spiritually grounded. And again, what doesn't apply, let it fly. I trust and believe in a power higher than myself. And the power I choose is God. Whoever you choose is all right with me. The man that I am looking for must be spiritually grounded. That's important because at some point in time, he's going to be guiding me if we determine that a relationship is what we want. And I say we because it involves both of us. He has to be able to laugh at himself. He has to know that he's not perfect, just like me. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. We're not perfect. We're two perfectly unperfect people who are amazing, who are simply amazing. And I know he's going to be amazing because there's so many amazing men out there. Everybody's not doing the same thing. Everybody's not creating havoc. There are amazing people out there, and I've met a few of them. He respects and practices balance. And in that balance, I want to be sure that he's learned some lessons because I have. And one of them is living within my means and living a very simple life. I don't need the pop and glitter. I need the security of my bank account. I don't need the designer bag. I need my bank account to hold that money, not that pocketbook that somebody else designed. I need a car that gets me from place to place. And I hate driving, by the way. However, I want to be sure when I'm driving, I'm safe. But I don't have to have, the top of the line. I don't. I just want the car I like, and I want it to get me from A to B safely without being worried about breakdowns because the car is not functioning properly. I live very simply. I don't need the popping glitter. What I have and what I'm doing is my business. I don't need to broadcast it. I'm not the person who has to tell you every move I make, whether it's on social media or in my private life with private friends. And so I live a very simple life. My partner needs to be in the same arena. It doesn't work when you have somebody who needs and wants publicity on a regular basis, has to have the latest everything, has to be the guru of everything, has to be in the front of everything. That's not my personality. It's not what I want. And although having a partner who is different from me is exciting, and I've experienced it and had some success in it, I really am not looking for somebody who's so different that it creates conflict. And so that's important. A biggie, a real big one, is that we have to be able to have fun that doesn't necessarily resolve around sex. Intimate fun, intimacy, friendship, fun, companionship, laughing, doing things that make us both happy. Those things are important because looks and great sex usually fizzles out sooner or later with all of us for one reason or another. And we don't need to go into detail about that. You understand. But the biggest one of them all is that he has to respect my football team, even if his is different. And there's always the possibility that it could be. And if it is, I want to respect his team and I want him to respect mine. I'm a woman who loves football. And so my team matters to me. And I'm loyal to my team. Loyalty is a big issue for me too. And so I'm loyal to my team. He has to have his own opinions, his own life. He doesn't have to be involved in everything that I'm doing. In having a successful marriage, I understand that that's not mandatory. It's a great idea to share goals and to have separate goals, to have a life together and to have a life of activity that is separate. It gives you a sense of independence and it gives you a sense of security. And so I'm not looking to cling and I'm not looking for a clinger. I want the green flags for me is a man who can stand on his own feet, has his own opinions, and does his own thing. I am not looking for a management position. I've been in management and I've been in an executive position, working with 500 or more employees. I'm not looking to employ anybody or babysit, and they don't need to babysit me. I want a man who can take care of himself, and I'm in a position to not mind taking care of him in many other ways as a result of that. And he feels the same about me. Those are the green flags for me. Again, I am your host, Annette Lartigue, here at CoachingU4U. Please put all of our business in the street. The red flags matter, but so do the green flags. What green flags do you look for? My list is a list of 12. I like the numbers 3, 7, and 12. Mine is a list of 12. And if he has most of these, we've got some things to talk about if there's a common interest. Again, know what your green flags are too. We spend so much time focused on the red flags and focused on appearances that we often miss the gift that's inside. And typically, as I posted and shared from somebody else that I saw today post, most people are single because the body image they're looking for doesn't meet the character they need to be in a decent relationship. We don't have to broadcast it. We know. You don't have to brag about your relationship. If you're in love, you don't have to tell people 100% of the time. They'll see it in you. I know because I've been in love. I know because I've had some success. And I know that I can learn from other people who have experience and exposure in the things that I'm looking to do. So, thanks for letting me share with you tonight. Thanks for spending time with us tonight. We're here at CoachingU4U every Wednesday at 8:05 p.m. We have a surprise for you in the new year. Stay tuned and keep looking up. Be good to yourself. Trust yourself. All of your magic is in trusting yourself. Have a great evening. Thanks.